And welcome back to South Australia. It's stage 3 of the Santos Tour Down Under. Today the riders going from Norwood to Campbelltown, both suburbs of the city of Adelaide, a distance of 145 kilometres, and that's about 92 miles. Partly cloudy and pretty hot today at 32 degrees or 90 degrees Fahrenheit. The riders arriving, Paul, in Norwood. Very tense faces today because of the big climb at the end of this stage.
Everybody thinking about that final climb of the day. Michael Matthews here thinking about the work that he's going to have to do to defend the overall leader at the start of the day, Simon Gerrans.
So the riders wondering what will happen today. It's the hottest day since the race began here, and all of the leaders now going to have to defend their corners. This is what happened yesterday in nearby Stirling. Coming up the hill on the far left of our picture, the Italian Diego Ulissi, only the 5th Italian ever to win a stage of this event, crosses the line ahead of the race leader Simon Gerrans and Cadel Evans in 3rd.
Yes, forcing the two big names to come to the front and defend their lead in the overall classification. But Gerrans extends his lead over Diego Ulissi to 7 seconds and 11 seconds over Andre Greipel.
And Cadel Evans moving up from 9th into 4th place overall. But the arrival of the man, the centre of attention, is the ochre jersey leader, Simon Gerrans. And he'll have to really defend it against other top names. Geraint Thomas, the winner of this stage last year, which came over Corkscrew Hill, and he finished 3rd overall. Then there's Cadel Evans, currently in the top 4 overall. He knows all about this hill, the former world champion from Australia. Adam Hansen, the green polka dots denoting him as the leader of the Skoda King of the Mountains, and Corkscrew Hill will be his target today. And what about these two top sprinters? Nothing for them today. But what about Simon Gerrans? He is the man to beat.
Yeah, today's going to be a really decisive stage of the race. And it's probably one of the stages where I'm going to be most vulnerable to be attacked in the final. The Corkscrew is a very tough climb and very hard to follow. And if someone's going really strong up the Corkscrew, it's going to be hard to go with them.
It's going to be hard. I think, we've seen Gerrans going really well. Cadel guessing, obviously Richie as well. So, yeah, I think it's going to be an exciting stage.
What I remember of Corkscrew is it's a really tough climb. It's really short distance to the finish, so it will be, of course, a key moment in this stage.
It's sure the Corkscrew climb's hard, and almost inevitably there'll be a selection there. But regrouping on the descent, I think it's 7.5 kilometres fast downhill. So for the guys who maybe lose time, and that's going to make it interesting. Do their groups collaborate together, work together to be effective, whether they're in front or behind, but whether we can hold that, or first whether we can make a gap, second if we can hold it. It's it's going to be interesting racing and a different style of racing.
Stage 3 taking the riders from nearby Norwood to Campbelltown, and it's a ride of 92 miles, 145 kilometres, as always down in the high summer in South Australia, Paul.
Yes, 32 degrees Celsius expected in the valleys. Fortunately for these riders, climbing up into the Adelaide Hills very, very quickly indeed. Through Mount Pleasant for the hydration station and taking on board drinks for the final run down Cuddly Creek and the big climb of the day, the climb locally they call here the Corkscrew.
Yes, then they'll dive off that on 7 kilometres or 5 miles down to the finishing line. Be very, very quick finish. Let's have a look at the start here now as the gun goes off and the riders themselves rolling away. Raphael Vale, so rider on the Lamprey team, not in the peloton today. He was amongst the crash victims yesterday and is out of the race. But for the rest, it's a short neutralised section before they get underway. And I should imagine these boys' minds concentrating on the last 8 kilometres of the course, with Cadel Evans here having a chat at the moment with Simon Clark. And the flag now getting ready to be pulled in. And that's where they start counting the distance, by the way. They don't count. There's we are, 0 kilometre, the neutralised section. There's Mike Turter, Olympic gold medalist in Los Angeles in 1984 on the track, waves the flag. We are officially off. And who's going to be the first to attack? And looks to me like it's a Drapac rider moving up nearest the camera, and he's going again. It's amazing, Paul. This Drapac team are always up for the battle.
Well, it's great to see in the past there was only the Uni SA squad allowed to ride in the World Pro Tour event here at the Santos Tour Down Under, but this team now has come up to the top level of the sport and has managed to get itself in as a wildcard selection. Coming across the gap here is Jérôme Cousin in the green jersey of Team Europcar.
joining Travis Meyer of Drapac at the front. Andre Grifko also moving clear of the peloton. Anybody coming to volunteer? No? Okay, well, I'll go and join the two riders up the road, establishing what Paul Sherwin always refers to as the early morning breakaway. And the man revving up on the left of our picture is Jens Voigt here. Jens has clearly decided this one could go the distance, so I'm going to have a look at it. The Jam Factory has been an Adelaide institution since it opened in 1973 and is home to budding artists and several gallery spaces. Visitors can see glass blowing in action before perusing the gallery, where they can marvel at local artists' work in glass, ceramics, metal and furniture. The Jam Factory is also responsible for producing the trophies for the Santos Tour Down Under.
I don't think they want to give that breakaway too much of an advantage.
No, they'll be worried about Grifko, 21 seconds behind overnight, and he's now the virtual leader on the road already. But you can't expect Orica Greenedge to chase everybody. They'll concentrate on the men they think will attack them when we get down towards the end of the day. So they'll monitor the breakaway. The wanted man, though, undoubtedly Andre Grifko in that breakaway. He's the rider in the light-coloured blue jersey there.
Yes, we come up to the first sprint of the day, 38 kilometres covered into Kersbrook. 3 seconds time bonus available for the first riders across the line. And there's the banner just around the corner.
And there's the man who's seen it first, and Travis Meyer. Now, Grifko wanted this because of the 3 second win bonus, 2 seconds and 1 second. Travis Meyer's spoilt at 3 seconds, but it'll be 2 seconds for Grifko. That means he's now only 19 seconds off the race lead. And of course, he's the virtual leader on the road at the moment with a 2-minute lead over the field.
Just spotting the bands there on Meyer's jersey. This is a good move here. He caught everybody unawares as he goes out to get himself the 5 points and the important 3 seconds time bonus. Just mentioning the flashes on his sleeve there, a former national road racing champion of Australia. Has the time to cruise over the line there. Maximum points and maximum time.
Yes, Grifko will not be too happy with Meyer taking that off him, but that's the way it goes. Jens Voigt says, OK, let's get reorganised and let's get on with the race here. Jerome Kuzan of Europe Car, first time Europe Car has ridden this event. And a little bit of a conversation going on there. I'm sure Grifko would not be happy with that. The hot crops here, high summer in South Australia, the land parched with long periods of drought as well, but ploughing through towards the Adelaide Hills now on this third day of the Santos Tour Down Under is the main field. They're now chasing these 4 riders who are just over 2.5 minutes ahead as we enter Williamstown here. The second sprint of the day, and this time Andre Grifko is going to make it his own. So he'll get the 3 seconds, a total of 5 for the day, reducing his overnight deficit now to just 16 seconds on Simon Gerrans.
Yes, but maybe more importantly, the time gap over the main field now stretching out to 2 minutes and 20 seconds. That really puts Andre Grifko in a threatening position, which is why I don't think they'll give this breakaway too much freedom. And that's why we've got these guys from Orica Greenedge on the front.
So it's now down to the peloton to see what they can do about those 4 riders ahead, because the gap is 2 minutes and 20 seconds now, and 2 Orica Greenedge riders are being forced to do all of the work. Somebody's gone down there. That looks like Pierre-Henri Le Cuisinier. That is an unceremonious dumping there of the French rider. Let's hope he's okay. And looks like Travis Meyer is now finding the pace that little bit too hard. He's not far now to the left turn onto the climb, and the peloton are closing in quite rapidly. There's the lead motorbike, so Travis Meyer just trying to hang on in, but these 2 riders are still trying to make that left turn before the rest.
As we see now, just 2 leaders. Trav Meyer's been distanced by Jens Voigt and Andre Grifko, our 2 pard riders of the front group.
Oh, but there's the main field.
The bunch has popped right up behind them. It's that positioning, that push towards the front that drives the speed right up. This is the last little uphill the guys are going to get before the road just absolutely drops away.
Well, any dreams of victory today by the front group have just gone out the window, because they're infighting amongst themselves. They've swept up the leaders here at 17 kilometers to go. First time since the start, the peloton is all together.
What's the first thing you'd do if someone told you they'd been burgled? You'd help.
Don't worry, we'll get this sorted out.
At More Than, we won't interrogate you or pass you around the building. We'll just do all we can to help, like any decent person would.
Thank you.
No problem. Glad I could help.
More Than, where you mean more.
What's that smell?
It's that perfume I got you for your birthday.
Dusky lady.
You don't wear it?
Like getting your money's worth? Try the £1.9 sweet chilli mayo chicken or the $1.49 chicken BLC. New to the Saver menu.
Tim, show Joel how everything you touch turns into Skittles.
That's awesome.
Is it awesome? Excuse me.
Touch the rainbow. Taste the rainbow.
From the creators of No Country for Old Men and True Grit comes a film that is heartfelt and utterly enthralling. A perfectly pitched masterpiece. A tour de force. The best film of the year. Don't miss the Academy Award-nominated Inside Llewyn Davis in cinemas Friday.
Catch live sport on the go with Vodafone 4G. The only 4G with Sky Sports Mobile included.
As social life has changed in recent years, it tends to be more dinner parties and nights in with friends, which is great, but it makes it harder to meet somebody new.
Match gives you an opportunity to talk to people that you never would normally have a chance to talk to.
It allows you to take control of your own situation.
Tonight I'm meeting James. He seems like a really nice person. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to meeting him.
Match.com, where it starts. Join free today.
There you go, sir. Big time.
Ooh, I like that.
For a free bet on both teams to score, talk to Victor.
Look, lunch is over, so this is over.
Whoa, whoa, is this a breakup? Is this a breakup?
Don't make this any harder.
Well, I'm not leaving.
Break up with lingering food. Help keep teeth clean and healthy. Eat, drink, chew. Extra.
There you go. What do you think? Let's go in the garden, eh? Off you go. Come on, come on. Oh, no. It's easy. Go through the flap. Stupid dog.
Red Bull gives you wings.
I honestly had no idea just how lawless and how violent this country actually is.
He's been to some of the world's most dangerous streets.
Somebody who came from behind and just listened.
But what he was about to witness,
Sit down.
even he couldn't have expected.
Sit down. Are you going to kill me?
The brand new series, Ross Kemp Extreme World, Tuesday at 9, Sky 1 HD.
Your home of sport.
This corner is going to come up on the rider's left here. This is where, when we're with the cycling clubs each morning, we ride straight onto the coffee shop. We avoid turning left because it is a gruesome climb. It really is. And we know there are thousands of spectators waiting to see the finest cyclist in the world hit the pass. We're making the left turn now.
Well, everybody getting around there nice and safely. If you're in the last 30 positions now, well, forget about it. You're not going to win the stage here this afternoon. It's the men who've placed themselves at the front. Andre Greipel there on the right-hand side in that white jersey. Job done. Adam Hansen goes round the corner in third position. Thanks very much, Andre. I'll see you tonight.
The pace has been so high, they've redlined everybody. They've been in that high 180s, 190 heart rate. The lactic acid is just filling their muscles, and this is the moment the big guns go. But look at Gerrans in Oka. He's seen Evans, he's seen Port. These are the two guys he beat at National Championship.
Here, Robbie, at Cadel Evans, the man who became the first Australian to win the Tour de France, the first Australian to become a World Road Race champion, starting to stamp his authority here. Evans has made a serious move, and it's the Tasmanian going alongside the Victorian Richie Porte.
This is as if we were watching the Tour de France here. This is the move that Cadel Evans had to make here this afternoon. He actually has a very good ally up alongside him with Richie Porte, because if these two guys can crest the summit of this climb, they're around about 1 kilometre to go to the top of the climb. It's Gerrans now who's got to do all of the work on his own. But watch out for Cadel Evans on the front. He's an unbelievable descender. Comes from a mountain background. He knows how to handle these corners. And as Robin McEwen said a little earlier on, he's been looking at this descent. He's practiced it. He will know each corner like the back of his hand.
I see Simon Gerrans, he's just off them, but he said this morning he's going to try and ride his own pace. No matter what they do, how hard they attack, he'll ride as hard as he can to the top, try and limit the losses, limit the damage, and chase them on the way down. But Cadel's just gone another step. He seems to be riding Richie Porte right out of his wheel.
Look, he gets a 10-second win bonus. He's 13 seconds behind the ochre jersey, who is kicking back there. And look at this now. Simon Gerrans has suddenly decided to catapult away and chase them down. He is finding a Cadel Evans in terrific form this week.
Well, there's Cadel Evans has put a time between himself and Richie Porte, and the ochre jersey now of Simon Gerrans has to defend on his own. This is Tour de France type tough stuff we're looking at here with Evans.
We are looking at the podium 2 weeks ago in the Australian National Championship. The order was Gerrans, Evans, Porte. Now the order is Evans, Porte, Gerrans, a complete reversal.
Well, Evans has now caught Richie Porte. These two will have to get together and try and chase down Cadel Evans. He's built up quite a substantial gap now. The gap was narrowing. Cadel has gone again. He really comes into his own. The longer and harder the climb, he just gets better and better. He doesn't slow down, and he's got that focus on his face. He's just grinding his teeth and grinding the gears and moving further and further away.
Sorry, Robert, it just brings a smile to my face when you read all the detractors of Cadel Evans who say, Cadel Evans, he never attacks. I tell you what, I've seen Cadel Evans attack a lot of times, and this is one of his most prominent ones now.
And look at that gap now. He has just doubled that gap in a matter of 200 metres. He's really giving it everything. He knows if he can't get away and take time today, 200 metres from the top, he's about to start descending and try and win this Tour Down Under and pull the jersey off Simon Gerrans' back.
It's all going to be about the descent. Cadel Evans knows the descent now, but in the first kilometre going down the first part of this descent, there's some very, very tricky corners. Number 11 on the back of Simon Gerrans there. He's on the defensive.
I just saw a big difference too. 300 metres from the top, Cadel Evans has gone and pulled the big chain ring. Simon Gerrans and Richie Porte still in the small chain ring. That is the difference between being in front and trying to chase this guy down. As he goes past the BMC mascot under the KOM, obviously takes the King of the Mountain prize, but now, this is where the race can be won and lost.
Look at the time.
Look at the time gain. Remember, the difference is only 11 seconds, and he's got that already. He's the ochre jersey on the road as Gerrans goes over. Now we're going to see some chase down.
I made that 15 seconds between Cadel Evans at the front and Simon Gerrans, Richie Porte tandem behind. Now, as we've said, this man has looked at these corners. He knows how to ride a bike. He handles it exceptionally well. He's a former mountain biker. 2 times he won the World Cup. He never managed to win the World Championships in the mountain bike, but he never lost that ability to go downhill fast. Well, the way this could unfold right now is if that group, the next group on the road, catches the chasing group here of Richie Porte and Simon Gerrans, there'll be a slight slowing down once they make the regrouping, and then all of a sudden that gives the advantage to Cadel Evans at the front of the bike race, and he can conserve that little bit more of his advantage. Race radio is currently telling me that it's a 25-second gap between Cadel Evans, the man we're looking at here, and the 2 chasers.
There's plenty of people to chase now. 54.5 kilometres is the average speed. Impey wants to help, but he's looking forward to where Gerrans is at the moment.
I think this is the moment it's just broken down. Impey's gone to the front. Nobody has followed the wheel. It's going to stall again, and Cadel's going to open up a few more seconds. 1.8 kilometres to go. The bird has flown, Phil. They are no longer going to take Cadel Evans back. But the question is, how much is he going to win by? Win bonus on the finish line, plus his gap. we've seen a big change in this Tour Down Under.
Well, look at his face, and now you see the difference of a team, because two BMC boys trying to break up the rhythm at the back. We're onto the flat roads now. We're shortly dead straight into the finishing line here in Montecucci Road, as now it is the man who won the Tour de France for Australia, the man who won the World Championship. This is the Cadel Evans, full of determination and determined to rip that ochre jersey off the shoulders of Simon Gerrans.
And with every pedal stroke, he's just taking that jersey off him just a little bit more. They may have closed the gap by a second or two, but they're not going to get close to him for this stage. I mean, what a fantastic ride. Like we said, over the top of that climb, pulled the big chain ring, has not eased off one little bit all the way down. He's giving it absolutely everything he's got. He knows this is what's going to win him the Tour Down Under.
Well, he's got the Battle of Olunga Hill, but his plan today was simple. Ride them off his wheel and race down to the finish. He's done just that. Into Campbelltown, in the distance, you can see him. They've closed in a little bit of the gap, I think, but for Cadel Evans now, he's going to do the two-arm salute here. A great victory in the Tour Down Under for him. Then the clock will start. He's 13 seconds behind overnight. He gets a 10-second win bonus. That could be reduced, though, if Gerrans can take second place. So he's got to get a reasonable gap between. But one thing is for sure now, because this group is closing in, and one thing can be sure, this race is going to be very, very tight at the top tonight. 150 metres, 50 metres. Give this man a round of applause. What a tremendous ride. Cadel Evans hits the line. He's done all he could do to win the stage. Has he done enough now to take the ochre jersey? And I think he has. Just looking out at it, there's Adam Hansen going. Rowan Dennis over there. It was Nathan Haas, Diego Ulissi. Gerrans only in 5th place on the day, no bonus for him. So Ulissi gets a bonus, but there's no doubt now there is a new leader on the Santos Tour Down Under.
Well, I think he's given it a 26-second turnaround to Simon Gerrans. The winning margin was about 16 seconds, plus the 10. He'll put himself about 13 seconds or 15 seconds ahead of Simon Gerrans in the overall, and with Ulissi closing in as well. But I think that could be the bike race, Phil.
Well, there's Cadel Evans. I think Paul Sherwin is nearby. Let's go to Paul Sherwin.
Well, Cadel, that was really pretty much a laid-down plan. We spoke to Alan Piper this morning. He said Cadel and the team are going to try and do something special, and that was special.
Okay. No, I had an idea of what we might have an opportunity to do, and you know, it's always might, if, maybe. But you know, in this sport, when you take a chance, when you have an opportunity, you have to run with it. And yeah, right to the last 300 metres, I wasn't sure that I had it, and I still don't know what the time gap is. And in the end, the move for me is always for GC. Actually, if I you know, stage things and so on, well, that's of course great. But GC is what we're really here for.
The team were right up for it as well when they came to corkscrew, because you used all of the team, and then eventually you took responsibility yourself.
Yeah, you know, we've been training well. We have a really solid group here. Ben's a new addition to our team. Rick as well, Rick Zabel, and I have to say they've come right into our group, right into our synchronisation really well. It's been a pleasure so far, and I hope I can deliver them some more satisfaction.
Well, here's a bit of satisfaction for sure. Cadel Evans wins the stage, 15 seconds over a chase group of about 18 riders, led home by Nathan Haas. Diego Ulissi, the winner in Sterling, 3rd this time. Adam Hansen 4th. Simon Gerrans 5th. And the stage winner, though, Cadel Evans here. It's only the 2nd time he's won a stage of this event in history. The last one was in 2002. In the Adam Internet Blue Jersey Sprint Competition, Gerrans will wear the blue jersey tomorrow. He leads Ulissi by 2 points. Evans in 3rd place in this competition. So still be in a leader's jersey despite losing the ochre today. And in all of the competitions, the next race leader here is the Skoda King of the Mountains. No points for Adam Hansen today, but he retains the lead with 20 points, equal with Will Clark. So he continues to ride on in the Skoda green polka dot jersey. And in the cycle instead, the best young rider jersey, Kenny Ellison, the new leader here. He rides for the Française de Jeux.fr team. And who was voted the most aggressive rider, sponsored by Europcar? None other than Jens Voigt today, the oldest man in the race. Well done, Jens. But This is the one they all want, and now it's on the shoulders of Cadel Evans. The Santos Tour leader is Evans, leading 12 seconds ahead of Gerrans, 15 on Ulysses, surprising us. Nathan Haas up into 4th place. But this is the new man in the hot seat now as we head on to stage 4. So that's it from South Australia. Tomorrow it will be stage 4. I hope you'll join us. The weather will stay hot, the competition will stay hot. And for Robbie McHugh and Paul Show and me, Phil Liggett, we'll be with you tomorrow. Goodbye.